Hey everyone, welcome back to Neurodivination, my channel for neurodivergence and your spiritual journey. My name is Beck and I use they them pronouns, and today I want to talk a little bit more about what goes on while you're on your spiritual path. The first thing I want to talk about is love and light, the concept of love and light. And recently I have been getting this on my feed a lot as like a message. I was in a space of love and light when I first started my journey, and I really think it was a part of my process. Like, I needed to believe that everything was good and only think positive thoughts, and kind of almost like denying and suppressing even more my shadow aspects. But if you're in this space of love and light, it's part of the process. It's really part of the process. There are so many things on the spiritual journey that are so similar for other people, and I truly believe it sets you up for future success. Like, if I didn't believe this certain thing at this point, then I probably wouldn't have tried to do this, and I wouldn't have done that, and then I wouldn't be where I am right now. So don't put pressure on yourself to get out of the love and light realm, but really start seeing things that are coming up for you. Like, what is being suppressed through this love and light, like, way of living? Like, what parts of you are not getting acknowledged? And that really goes in with like the shadow work aspects and the full integration of self and all of your parts. But the love and light part is essential, because maybe up until this point you were a pretty negative person. Maybe you haven't had the best outlook on life, and this love and light part of the journey is really helping you to get more into that positive mindset. I can't even like say it, because you deserve to be in a positive mindset. You deserve to rewire your brain and to upgrade your system, upgrade your conditioning, because maybe you've been in a dark place for a while, and love and light is the vibes. Maybe that's just the vibes. But eventually you're going to get to this point where you integrate your shadow with your light. So you have your light and your dark. Your divine feminine, divine masculine, internal energies are finding balance. But for me as a neurodivergent person, a lot of times I've taken things too far one way or the other. I've been that pendulum swinging from one extreme to the next. And I personally don't mind that part of my journey, because it helps me find that middle ground and balance within these different fluctuations. So don't put pressure on yourself to get out of that mindset, but just be aware that you do have some things that are probably wanting to be acknowledged and seen and healed that you will eventually have to look at. But if you're in this space where your brain is like, okay, let's just be positive for a while, I say roll with the waves on that one. My other thing I really want to talk about is enjoying the journey. I feel like so many people who have kind of gotten to the other side of their spiritual path like to tell people that, well, it's the journey, not the destination, and you have to enjoy it. You have to, embrace everything that's going on and just have fun. And honestly, once you do start doing this shadow work, you do start having awareness of old wounds, or memories are surfacing, or just a lot of pain is coming up, you're not always going to be able to enjoy that. You will have gratitude for it, and you will see the light at the end of the tunnel. But when you're in it, when you're in the thick of it, it's okay if you're not enjoying your journey. It's totally valid, because this journey is hard and there's a lot of challenges that you have to face. And what I'm getting from that also is like, these challenges that you're facing them in like layers, with like the healing journey being a spiral. Each time you make another rotation around the circle, it just gets easier and easier. So don't put pressure on yourself that you have to enjoy every aspect of this journey, because you'll get there eventually. But it's okay to have these feelings of like, this sucks. Because honestly, a lot of the time it does suck. You're purging a lot. You're getting rid of things that don't serve you anymore. You're backing away from certain relationships. You're stepping into your authenticity. You're purging and just getting rid of old identities, old versions of yourself. But you're releasing them with love, because you know that version of you got you to where you are today. But it's okay to not in this moment right now be like, I'm enjoying my journey. Like, it's okay. You don't have to fake smile about it. Like, that's kind of the point. And you do have to experience these things in order to get to a place of gratitude for them and to really understand that everything that you went through was for a reason. That might trigger some people, but it's true, because it's like, if you didn't experience all these things that you've experienced, you would not be the person you are today. You wouldn't have the wisdom and knowledge that you have today, and you wouldn't be able to relate to people who go through similar things. It's really this whole like pain into purpose thing. So if you're right now like, I'm not having a good time, this sucks, that's totally fine. Embrace that about it. Journal about it and see like, how can I get, and I just got 555 on here, like how can I get this, how can I embrace these changes and really see where I'm going with this to get to that place of gratitude. But it's totally valid to not be always enjoying the journey, because there's a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot of roller coaster stuff going on. And that leads me to being kind to yourself through this process. I would say the number one thing that has helped, because we're focusing on ourselves in this journey and really healing us. I was so focused on healing other people when I started, and then it finally dawned on me like, oh, I need to focus on me. And this would be not listening to your inner critic, or just having awareness around your inner critic. I don't know, my nose keeps running. I wonder if anyone else is experiencing that right now, because that's happening. There could be this idea that your inner critic has just been with you for so long that you don't even know what it's like to not have it. And just having moments of noticing when that inner critic comes up and just having the awareness will start getting you to really see how you speak to yourself and like how mean you can be. And my best advice for that is to really talk to yourself as if you would talk to a friend, which I know so many people say, but it really is helpful. And I hope that whoever's listening to this, I feel like I'm calling you out right now because you know this advice, but you just haven't really implemented it. But it's time. You're ready to really start counteracting with that inner critic and being like, no, I deserve rest. Like, I am exhausted. I have been going at it and healing and just trying to be something like with myself. And you deserve that kindness. You deserve your own kindness, love, and respect, because you are a beautiful being and you should be so proud of yourself for all the things that you've done up until this point. I also want to discuss the feelings of regression that come up. So with the healing journey and the circle, sometimes when you come up to something that you've already feel like you've healed, you're like, oh my gosh, am I going backwards? Like, what's happening? But really, it's helping you move forward. Once you get to that healing point, you've created a new like version of yourself since the last time you dealt with that. So you can totally breeze past it faster than in the past. Any challenges you have, like, they might seem big and scary, but the more you do it, it's like you're getting in your reps. And as you get more comfortable with this healing journey and alchemizing and shifting energy and shifting yourself, you're really going to notice that like any challenge that comes your way, like, you got this. Like, you literally got this. And so you're not regressing. And even if you feel like you're regressing, it might just be that you're healing that wound and it's giving you more information about that wound. Maybe you're just learning how to show up differently in those types of situations. So it feels like regression at first, but really you come out the other side stronger and ready for more. I want to talk about as well substances during the spiritual journey. I had a interesting relationship with gardening, and that's the main substance I want to talk about today. And there are things that happen when you start to garden, and you may be trying to numb or to disassociate, but it can also be a helpful tool on your spiritual path. It can help you connect to source. It can help you to calm your mind, maybe be more brave and do something bold that you wouldn't normally do without the use of gardening. But I just want to give you this information about using discernment. So I had an interesting situation that was not positive when I was gardening once. I have not really gardened in the last couple of years on and off. Before that, I used it every single day. It's really about like using your discernment on when you take something too far, when it's no longer a tool and something that you feel like you need to be creative or connect to source or your higher self, or to channel, or to go out and be social. Like once it becomes something of like a crutch, that's maybe when we need to step back a little bit. But don't put pressure on yourself to, this is our whole season of not putting pressure on ourselves. Don't put pressure on yourself to purge every single quote unquote bad habit that you have just because you're on this spiritual path. Like part 1111, when I say this, part of the spiritual path is going through these things, like seeing what works for you, what tools you want to put in your toolbox. And if gardening is one of those tools that you can use to maybe do a special ritual and you're really feeling open and connected to source, or you're using it to enhance like a tarot reading or something, when you're using it intentionally to get yourself further on your path, it's totally fine. And there are other substances and things, just using your discernment with them and seeing, am I using this to numb and disassociate? Am I using this as a tool for my creativity or my spirituality? Or am I using this as like a crutch that I feel like I can only use this to be this certain way, to be this certain part of me? Because eventually you're going to be able to embody that without the substance. If you're wanting to use certain substances while you're on your spiritual journey, that's totally fine. You do not have to feel any shame for going back to a substance. Even like maybe you took a long break and now you're like kind of ready to experiment again. It's all about finding what works for you and what tools you want to implement. This is your toolbox, your journey, your life. You do you. Don't freaking listen to everyone else. You have to, like, people who are like really into like he, him, God. They're like, oh, our Father, he wants you to be obedient and he doesn't want you to do this, that, and the other. That is not true. It's not true, okay? Like, yes, you should listen to your intuition. That's being obedient. Got it. Okay. But like every single thing that you're doing that you think is wrong, that's not gonna help. That's not gonna help. That's just gonna make you feel bad. And we don't want to feel bad. We want to feel good. You know what to do. You know what works for you. You got this. You got your tools. You're set. So don't listen to other people and don't feel like you're doing something wrong just because you like to garden once a week or a few times a week. Like, that's not a big deal. Sometimes some of this stuff does suck and you are healing things that are really hard, and maybe you do need that just to kind of open yourself up a little bit, and that's okay. Do it. Do what feels right for you. I also want to talk about new identities surfacing throughout this journey and stepping into your authenticity. Through that journey, there's going to be a lot of fear that comes up. So much fear because your brain is trying to protect you, your ego is trying to protect you from things that are outside of your comfort zone. But the more you step out of your comfort zone and face those fears, the easier it's going to be. And you can do it in baby little steps. Like, let's say you've been really feeling lonely. You got like purged some relationships that you had that you thought were like really great friends, and you're just kind of in this liminal space. One fear that could be like really easy to start with is just like going outside for a walk. Like just learning to be a person again and like stepping outside. And I need to take this my own advice right now, but just really doing little baby things that feel like maybe a lot right now because you're going through so much, that are going to build up to bigger results. It's that whole like micro small habits, like just doing little things that put you in the right space, mindset, and kind of lead you in the right direction of where you want to be, because fear is always going to be present. It's never going to go away. It's not something that ever, I don't think, truly goes away. I think that everyone always has a little voice, no matter how far in the background it is, that says like, oh, should we really do that? It seems like a lot. So there's always going to be fear, but it doesn't have to be in the driver's seat. It can be in the back seat, buckled up, not backseat driving. And you can notice it and be aware of it, but then you can still do the thing. You can do the thing because you are a powerful bee. And you are you are ready. You are ready to do these things. So start small and see where it takes you. That's my That's my biggest advice. You're gonna get some stuff with people doubting you is what I'm getting, and it's like that could be a reflection of the doubt that you feel inside of yourself. So I think this goes back to like the being kind to yourself and enjoying the journey. There are going to be doubts and self-criticism and feelings of unworthiness that come up, but that is a very similar thing to the fear. Like, it does not have to be in the driver's seat, and it can take a step back and it can have a new role, and you can talk to that part of you and really be like, where is this coming from? Where is this wound from? It's very freeing. It's very freeing. I think someone here needs to hear that today, that their inner critic is not serving them anymore, and it's time. That's what I'm getting. Okay, cool. I pulled 2 self-care oracle cards. I'm actually going to pull a fresh one. Okay, use your hands. Interesting. Since I was talking so much about creativity, I really like how funky this vase is, or vessel. Doing something that gets you out of your head is what I'm getting from this. Creativity for sure. Something creative. I'm getting a lot of cooking with that. Like, maybe some of you really find solace in just cooking a good meal and being creative with it and doing something new. I also had spending time with friends. Throughout my spiritual journey, I've had some issues with this. Just meeting new people and learning a lot of lessons through those relationships. I'm getting with this that it's time to connect with your spirit guides, and they are your friends. You're not alone because you have your spirit guides. If you need help with that, I can definitely, in my description, I have my coaching link. We can definitely explore some of that. And then I also have pleasure, which is very much connected to this card as it's shown, but also connecting with your own joy and giving yourself permission to be happy and to experience that joy and pleasure. You deserve it, and it's time, and you don't have to ask permission from anyone except yourself. Just give yourself permission to feel that joy. Okay, that's my message for today. I really enjoyed discussing some of these nuances of the spiritual journey, especially as a neurodivergent peep. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Description below has all of my links for coaching. I'm coaching people who are neurodivergent on their spiritual journey specifically. And then also I do healings, tarot readings, etc. And that's all in the description below. Thank you so much. I love you.